When we look back at 2025, there will be wars, elections, climate disasters, and economic shocks. But running beneath nearly every major story was another force, quieter, less visible, but just as transformative: artificial intelligence. AI reshaped the world through data centers, quarterly filings, and technical papers, until by December 2025, entire industries had rewired themselves around it and changed the way we think what machines can actually do. 12 months earlier, it was just science fiction, but now it is the operating system of the modern world. So how has AI changed our world today? I'm Afzal Ahmed, and this is Aloud. This show brings you articles made for audio. In this episode, we've adapted the piece 5 AI Shifts That Changed Everything for Us in 2025 by Sadiq S. Butt, published on TRT World on December the 9th, 2025. There are 5 main AI shifts that made 2025 the year artificial intelligence stopped being the future and became the present. Let's start with number 1, the $100 billion landmark deal between two giants. If AI was the biggest headline of 2025, this deal explained why. In September, NVIDIA and OpenAI released a short, almost understated press statement describing a partnership worth up to $100 billion. NVIDIA would supply OpenAI with its most advanced chips, H100s, H200s, and the new Blackwell GPUs, along with the data centers and electricity required to run them. Starting in 2026, OpenAI would gain access to around 10 gigawatts of compute. This is the ability of a computer system to process and execute tasks, calculations, and operations. And that's roughly the annual power budget of New Zealand. The deal is likely to accelerate the path to super intelligence, benefiting humanity through faster, more scalable AI advancements. The future of AI is now constrained less by imagination and more by who controls energy, silicon, and infrastructure. Now, number 2, an AI that thinks before it speaks. This was the moment AI stopped sounding impressive and started acting consequential. In April, OpenAI released a model called O3. At first, it felt underwhelming. It was slower, sometimes much slower, but the delay was intentional. For the first time, a widely deployed AI system could deliberate. It doesn't blurt out the first answer that pops into its head. It stops, sketches out a plan, runs little test calculations in the background, double-checks itself. Sometimes the delay is 2 seconds, sometimes it's 3 minutes. The catch was that every thoughtful answer costs 10 to 20 times more energy than the old fire-and-forget models. In coding, mathematics, and scientific reasoning, O3 marked a turning point. This shift laid the foundation for machines capable of handling multi-step decisions with real-world consequences due to their ability to reason. Moving to number 3, Gemini 3 and the end of single-purpose AI. By late 2025, the question was no longer what AI could process, but whether humans could keep up. In November, Google released Gemini 3. Unlike earlier systems, Gemini 3 didn't specialize in one format. It absorbed text, images, video, audio, code, even 3D spatial data, all at once. Instead of stitching together multiple models, it reasoned across everything natively. Researchers described its capabilities as PhD-level problem-solving, paired with agentic tools that could autonomously build interactive solutions. The future of AI was no longer dozens of narrow systems, but one intelligence that understands the world the way humans experience it, simultaneously and at scale. Now, number 4, DeepSeek and the open source shock. In May, a relatively unknown Chinese research team called DeepSeek released the full weights of DeepSeek v3, openly, no paywall, no restrictions. At surface level, it was a technical release, but this turned out to be a geopolitical moment. It wasn't just competitive. In several reasoning and coding benchmarks, it outperformed or matched elite closed models from the West. Even more striking was that it was trained for around $5.6 million. That's a large figure, but it's a fraction of what major AI labs typically spend. Within weeks, developers across the global south fine-tuned it in Portuguese, Hindi, Yoruba, and Swahili, languages long treated as afterthoughts by the biggest firms. Power was no longer just concentrated. It was beginning to spread. DeepSeek proved that world-class AI no longer belongs exclusively to a handful of corporations. And lastly, number 5, how autonomous agents enter the real world. And this is where AI stopped being something people used and started being something that acted. By autumn, autonomous agents quietly entered everyday workflows. These weren't chatbots with task lists. They were systems that could open your customer relationship management system, read the latest shipping manifest, notice the container is late, email the supplier, update the enterprise resource planning system, and flag finance if the delay triggers a penalty clause, all without step-by-step human instruction. So now it is about who controls the future. When Time magazine named the architects of artificial intelligence its 2025 Person of the Year, it confirmed what had already become obvious. Time magazine cited the ability to deliver the age of thinking machines with transformative technology. Its editor-in-chief, Sam Jacobs, described the architects as wowing and worrying humanity, transforming the present and transcending the possible. The issue examined innovation alongside harm, including lawsuits blaming AI systems for real-world tragedies. Urgent ethical questions about safety, accountability, and control still remain. Mistakes still happen, humans still intervene. But now AI shapes how decisions are made across the globe. But the real question isn't what it can do, it's who gets to steer it, and whether the rest of us will like where it's headed. If 2025 was the year AI embedded itself, 2026 may be the year societies decide whether they can still slow it down or embrace its explosive and often unforeseen growth. So what do you think? Has AI changed your daily life and how? That's all for this episode of Aloud, based on the piece 5 AI Shifts That Change Everything for Us in 2025 by Sadiq Esbat, published on TRT World on December the 9th, 2025. I'm your host, Afzal Ahmed. Thanks for listening.